Hello, hello, Planet Fitness. I am your trainer, Shannon Cooper. Welcome to your beginner yoga. If you do have a block, a towel, a mat that you can roll up, that would be super helpful. Anything that will elevate the earth. You want to roll up, that would be super helpful. Anything that will elevate the earth. You want to have water nearby and your beautiful self. So we're going to start our practice by focusing in on our breath. So start to take those big deep inhales in and exhales out. Let's start to roll our shoulders back as we go through that natural flow of our breath. Deep inhales and exhales, rolling the shoulders back. And rolling the shoulders the opposite direction. Starting to feel the body awaken here and taking our time and setting our intention for our practice today. Big inhale through the nose. Let's take our hand to the floor on one side and side bend. So as we practice today, I'll speak a lot on gratitude as a focus on our intention to work through. So I have so much gratitude with you practicing here with me today. Switch over to the other side, friend. Big inhales and big exhales. And start to connect the movement with the breath. Beautiful. Extending those arms straight up. Seated mountain here, glancing upward. I like to call it the column of light, receiving from the sun. I like to think holding the sun here as we glance upward. Receiving whatever it is we need for our practice today. You have everything you need to be successful. So just a reminder to slow down. I know getting into our practice, maybe we're doing something before you came to your practice today. Your hands can come to your hips and start to roll one direction here. So just slow the mind down and control the breath and control the flow of the body. And just a reminder to not rush through this because you deserve every single second that you're here with me today. And as you move through this, just be aware of how your body is feeling as we go through these circles. Let's go the opposite direction. You start to feel the hips awaken here, the core. Our body warming up to do great things for us. Keep moving in that circular motion. And if this is your first time doing yoga, welcome and congratulations. It takes so much bravery to start something new, and you're doing this here today. If this isn't your first time, we will move through a flow that you will enjoy. Next in our warm-up, let's come into cat-cow. So let's place our hands on our mat. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, and take your time getting into these positions. Okay, we don't have to rush any of this, just a reminder. So nice flat back to start, neck neutral with the spine, and then let's round the back in, tucking the chin into the chest. That's cat, exhale, belly drops, chin lifts, that's cow. So going through at your own flow, feet are nice and flat, exhale, definitely feeling the body awaken here. And you can take these poses, these movements with you throughout your day, your week, your month. And of course, visit your Planet Fitness app. Exhale to do these workouts as much as you need. Exhale. You can start to go in a circular motion with your cat-cow if that feels good for you today. Let's go the other way. And if something is not vibing today for your body, I always give modifications or other options. So do what's best for you. So we are going to step into a runner's lunge. So bringing one foot forward. This is where blocks or towels or anything that will elevate the earth closer can be helpful. You can lift that back leg, and if you do have blocks, they can be flat so that they're low. You can turn them to the side so that they're medium, or if needed, they can be high. Holding this runner's lunge, feeling the opening here in the front of the hips, You can place your hands right here on the thigh, or if you're comfortable and confident, you can have them on the floor. So we will switch sides. So take your time here. You can bring that leg down, coming back to tabletop if needed, and switch over. And this is going to be a part of our flow today. So warming up with this move, you will see it again. So go ahead and lift that leg. If you need your blocks, if you need to stand up taller, that is an option for you. How are you doing, friend? You're doing great. Whenever you're ready, I want you to make your way to a standing position. So if that means you need to bring your hands to your blocks or the floor, you can step up or bring that leg forward. Coming in to mountain pose. Reach those arms up nice and high. Column of light, just like we received seated. Big exhale. Forward fold. Feeling the glutes, the hamstrings opening up. Staying here for just a moment. Really allow your body to relax in these poses, in these positions. Not rushing through them, giving your body the time it needs. Let's come into a half lift. So that is a flat back, neck neutral with your spine. Your core is involved here. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Reminder to breathe. Big inhales and big exhales, flowing with your natural breath today. Coming into a runner's lunge. Let's take one foot back, remembering which foot, because we will do the opposite side. And we know the runner's lunge and our options, so do what works best for you. So now we will step back into a modified plank. So you can drop the back knee, take the foot back, and you are in a modified plank position. So the core is nice and tight. Knees are down. So we are coming into Cobra. So you just drop the hips down and lengthen here. Smile on your face as you move with gratitude through our practice today. Beautiful. Coming back to that tabletop position. Again, hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, uniting the movement and the breath. Very good. So let's tuck the toes under here, coming into a high plank position, and then into downward facing dog. So if this is your first time doing yoga, I'm sure we've all heard of downward facing dog. Beautiful. When you are ready, walk your feet to your hands. And I want you to move with kindness and gratitude. So your body is working. Remember that. It's working with you and for you. Swan dive up. Take a moment here and breathe. And again, we're not rushing through our practice today. Exhale into forward fold. So take your time. If you need to hold positions longer, stay within that. So within this beginner yoga, I included a lot of the fundamentals so you can really, really dig into the fundamentals of yoga. Half lift here. Back is nice and flat. Very good. Exhale, the opposite foot for that runner's lunge. So you take the opposite foot back. All right. And you know your options here. So if you got it with the hands on the floor, you go for it. But mats, blocks, books, there's so many things that can elevate the earth to help us with our practice. Coming into modified plank. So I suggest dropping that back knee first and then bringing that leg back. Nice flat back, tabletop position. It's a nice time to reset in this position. You can really bring that core in and breathe. We will come into Cobra pose, but first let's go ahead and go into that modified plank. So you can take those knees back and slowly drop the hips. Taking a moment here to really have gratitude for your body moving today. It is a gift. Remember that. Coming into tabletop, you're doing awesome. Knees directly underneath the hips, hands directly underneath the shoulders. This is where we tuck those toes under and visit that down dog. Again, shooting those hips back. Exhale. So another option, we walked our feet towards our hands. You can walk the hands towards the feet if you like. You may have to reposition yourself on your mat if that's the case. So I suggest walking those feet to the hands, slow and controlled. Swan dive up into mountain pose. And every time we come up, it's just like the column of light again. It can be a reset, a restart if you need it. Exhale, forward fold. We're starting to get the flow of what is next. So that half lift. And it's about to get a little spicy. We're gonna add on. So we know that runner's lunge. So we're going to have the first foot that we had forward. We have that forward now. Turn out the back foot. We come into warrior. So glancing over the fingertips, opening up the hips here. Big inhale. We take the hand back into peaceful warrior and extending that arm over, really allowing yourself to feel that lengthening here. And we can cartwheel the hands down. I'm a big fan of cartwheels. We come into that modified plank position. So you can drop that back leg, being gentle and kind to our bodies as we move. So we come into that plank. And then when you are ready, we drop the hips down. Those feet are nice and flat into cobra. It should feel good to sink those hips into your mat. Exhale. Coming back into tabletop position. Again, an opportunity to reset if needed. Amazing job. Tuck the toes under. Shoot the hips back into down dog. One more flow after this. We'll get warrior in on the other side. Walking those feet towards the hands, standing mountain. We can flow through this perhaps a little bit faster. Exhale into forward fold. That half lift. Very good. So we know we just did that runner into our warrior on the opposite side. So take that foot back. Have a little turn out here into warrior, glancing over. And remember, warriors don't back down, they don't quit. So I love that. Have warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. You'll see through your yoga practices, because this is something you're going to continue to move through. Cartwheel the hands into that modified plank position, taking that back leg down. And when you're ready, we drop the hips. Come into a quick tabletop before down dog. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. If you'd like, you can rock those hips side to side. And see, just have a moment of gratitude. Think of how your body felt when you started the practice and how it feels now. A little bit more awake. We've moved through. Push those hips back into down dog. Very good. And when you're ready, walk, little tippy toe action. Very good. Into mountain. And bring those hands to heart center. That flow, you did it. When you're ready, we make our way back down to the mat. Coming down to the mat into child's pose. So you can separate the knees, bringing the toes together. And bring your head down and rest the elbows. Breath, body, ourselves, and connecting to the earth. That's what you did today. Celebrate the victories that you've accomplished today. The breath, Ujjayi. So let's inhale in and an audible breath out. Let's do that and continue that breath. Big inhale in, audible exhale. Two more. And one more, perhaps letting your hips sink a little bit deeper. Very good. We are coming to high plank. So we did modified plank in our flow today. Hands directly underneath the shoulders. Extend the feet back. So you will feel challenged here. So be mindful of that form. Square those hips up. Core is nice and tight. Make sure our hips are not too high and not too low. Holding this position. Total time, we're here for about 30 seconds, but I don't want you to focus on the timer. Don't focus on the clock. I want you to do what it does and keep going. Just testing yourself and your strength today. If you need to come out of this, you come out of it, and when you're ready, you come back. We just have a couple more seconds. Bringing it down to the knees, and then coming into crocodile pose. And before we come down, if you'd like to sit back in child's pose, that is an option. And that's for any reason that crocodile may be uncomfortable. Bringing those hands together and forward and resting the forehead on the arms. You can come back to that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath, which is so appropriate for a celebration of victory after conquering that first plank. We will revisit that one more time, 30 seconds. You did it before, you're doing it again with more experience. And every second you've been with me in this workout, you've gotten stronger. So let's do it. Let's come back into that plank position. You can get yourself up into modified plank first, if needed, and then come into that high plank position. This is 30 seconds. And again, we will celebrate with that victorious breath that you so deserve. As you're holding here in this stillness, have that gratitude for everything your body did, and maybe it was not perfect, and that is okay. You moved today. You did your best today. A few more seconds and we come into crocodile pose. Bring it down when you are ready. Those knees drop. You lower the belly and chest to your mat, bringing the forehead down. And again, you can visit child's pose if this is uncomfortable for any reason. A few more of these victorious breaths. I want you to make your way to a seated position when you are ready. So we're only seated here for a few moments before we bring the knees into the chest for a big hug. I'll call that a big hug. Self-love. So when you're ready, go ahead and lay flat on your mat and drive those knees into the chest. And when you're ready, you can place the feet flat down on your mat. Arms can come in a T position, and then you take the legs over to one side. Thinking about how your body feels now compared to when we were warming up. Our bodies move a little bit differently now. Really stronger. We've lengthened. We had time not only for our body but our mind as well. When you're ready, switch over. So celebrate the victory of coming closer to the finish line of our time here today. And we will end with Savasana for a few minutes if you desire to stay in Savasana for a longer period of time. Feel free to do so. So let's go ahead and extend the legs when you're ready. Laying how you're comfortable. I suggest corpse pose. Those hands, palms can face up. Allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to be clear. Savasana. Again, feel free to stay in Savasana as long as needed if you'd like longer duration. Ready to close the practice with me today and start to bring awareness to the feet, start to wiggle the toes, start to wiggle the fingers. Coming to one side, side lying. Feel free to keep your eyes closed if you'd like. And when you're ready, you can sit yourself up. Coming into the same position we started today, friend. You did an amazing job. I cannot wait to work out with you and move with you again. The light in me honors the light in you. I am your trainer, Shannon Cooper. Thank you, Planet Fitness. Namaste.